Hi, welcome. I'll for 2 more minutes, then we'll start. I'll be starting in 1 minute, guys. You can hear me, right? Can anyone
Yes.
respond? Okay, nice. Thank you. Okay, let's start. Hello, everyone. Let's try to make this session more of, dialogue type instead of monologue, wherein I'll keep on speaking and you'll keep on listening. So let's interact instead of doing a lecture, right? I hope my voice is audible, or is there any issues?
Yes, you're audible.
Oh, it's audible. Yeah.
Cool. So, everyone is from performance background, or anyone from different background and want to explore what is performance engineering, or you people are already doing testing and now want to expand your horizon in engineering as well? May I know some background, I mean, what you are doing and what you are expecting from here? Anyone? Okay, I think I'll take the names. Vishal.
Yeah, hi. I'm
Hi.
already into performance testing actually. I'm working as a lead, but like
Nice.
from last 3, 4 years, I've been working with a performance
Mhm.
team. So just wanted to explore more about the performance engineering. So that's my
Okay,
intention.
nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Atul. Hello. Okay. Mohan.
I worked as a performance tester earlier, but I am
Okay.
into currently working on based on my job. Their profile got changed, little changed. I want
Okay.
to come back to the performance testing. I want to know the new features in the tool available, explore on the
Oh,
new features,
good,
and
good, good. Kiran. I can't hear you if you are speaking. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Hey, thanks everyone. So I was saying I'm into performance testing and engineering. I've been working in this field for
Okay.
almost 14 years for now. I just wanted to understand how
Okay.
Gen AI is helpful in performance engineering activities.
Cool. Nice. Okay. So what I understand is most of you are doing performance testing in some or the other way, and you want to explore new techniques and you want to explore more about engineering. So let me start. Let me share my screen first, and I'll quickly go through the syllabus that we are going to cover. Okay. Can you see my screen? Anyone? Yes, no?
No, not it.
Okay.
I can see it.
No.
Okay, one more yes, then I'll go ahead.
Yeah, we can see your screen.
Cool, thank you. So I'll be covering performance engineering, the foundations of it. Okay, so if you are already doing testing, then it will be very easy to grasp, right? And how engineering is different from performance testing. Okay, and we'll be talking about complete performance engineering lifecycle across SDLC, how you can grow yourself from a tester to engineer, right? So now you are able to detect the problem. Okay, these are the high response times. You are giving it to your client, showing your Jmeter or LoadRunner or whatever tool you are using. Now what to do after that data, right? So that is where engineering comes in. What are industry expectations? Now we all know there is Gen AI, there is cloud. Still, why to do performance engineering? Because if you deploy applications on cloud these days, the servers can automatically scale up, right? If there is more need, the CPUs will be added. If there is more data, more storage will be added. Then why engineering is required now? Okay, so we will learn that. Workload modeling, engineering strategies. Okay, and why Java? Because see, open source, what all its advantages, and how JDK JVM architecture we will discuss here, and how the basic knowledge of JVM architecture can help you solve most of the problems, because somewhere in your application something is using Java, right? So how understanding of the memory allocations can help you figure out the problems. Code profiling, we will learn performance engineering as well, and code profiling, how to profile the code using open source tools, how you can use JProfiler, how you can instrument your applications using agents and figure out your problematic transactions. Client side, server side metrics, right? So client side means now this screen is client, right? So whatever I can see on my UI, that is a client side thing. Your response times, your hits that you are doing, right? All those things are client side. Server side means resource utilizations, correct? All those things that are related to server. So all those things are server side metrics. So we will be learning that how we can optimize rendering, because see, whenever we do performance testing, if you are already doing LoadRunner or Jmeter scripting, I believe there are some standards that we used to follow. We used to comment all the static things, right? Whether it is images, whether JavaScripts, whether CSS, we used to comment that, and whatever dynamic data or APIs are there, we used to execute those only, right? Now, how that static content can make your website performs slow, and how to rule out those things, and how to make things faster, again using some open source tools that I'll be sharing with you. Memory profiling and leak analysis, and here we explicitly uh, create some leaks in the application. So there I'll show you some sample application. We'll start with very basic, then keep on going towards some complex applications. Then we'll intentionally or explicitly inject some fault inside it, and then figure out how to uh, get that fault and how we can resolve that. Okay, so that I'll be showing you live. Java memory management. Okay, stack, heap, metaspace, XMS, I'll be sharing with you all those things. Different types of garbage collection algorithms. Right now, you must have heard of all those things, right? Or is there anyone for whom these terminologies are very new? May you know anyone who is very new to these terms, who is not at all aware about GC, heap, anyone? Good. So you all are aware of these things, so that will be better. Then we'll also talk about threading and lock analysis, how we can find deadlocks, thread locks, how to analyze thread dumps using some live applications, using some sample applications. And like I mentioned, we'll start from very simple application and then we'll gradually move to complex applications. How to do infrastructure monitoring using some Windows tools, using some Linux tools. And there are many um, time series tools available. For example, Grafana, which can use InfluxDB as a time series database and can plot graphs as you want, right? So we'll talk about that as well. DB's performance, various kind of DBs, whether it is Oracle 2 or MS SQL DB2, how to monitor that, what all reports are readily available. Okay. Production monitoring, synthetic versus RUM and Dynatrace synthetic. Anyone used Dynatrace or AppDynamics in their applications? Anyone? Okay.
Yes,
Okay, good.
Yes, we.
So have you done synthetic monitoring using any of those tools?
Dynatrace.
Okay, have you done synthetic monitoring using Dynatrace?
Not completely, but some
Okay,
idea.
no worries. Yeah, cool, no worries. Then we'll also talk about DevOps. It's a buzzword, like AI DevOps is a buzzword, a bit older than Gen AI, but still very relevant. Now, what is DevOps? Wherein you can, continuously change your scripts on runtime. Suppose now there are many, I would say there are very less projects or less organizations who are doing waterfall kind of model these days. Everybody is agile. Everybody wants to deploy. Everybody wants to test as early as possible so that they can identify problems as early as possible. So that is where DevOps comes into picture. Okay. You need not to go inside Jmeter script every time. You have to build wrappers around it so that any variables or any you can say, for example, threads, ramp up, duration, all those things are very dynamic that you need to change most of the time. Suppose you ran your test at a very first time, let's say that was a baseline test, you did testing with 50 user. Now you want to go ahead with 100 user or more than that. So you do not want to go inside JMeter and make all those changes again and again. You do not want to keep on updating your CSVs manually again and again, right? So that is where DevOps comes into picture, wherein you can create variables around those things which are keep on changing in each execution and just change those things, keep your scripts in the backend as it is, make variables, change those variables and trigger your test. And similarly for reporting purpose, create reports as soon as you create report, just get the chinks or the crux out of those reports easily as soon as possible so that you can report it to the development team and this cycle keeps on going, right? So that is what DevOps is. Cloud and resilience engineering. So we will be using AWS and Azure. So if you have not used earlier, I'll be sharing with you. I am cloud certified in AWS. So I can show you how to get inside AWS, how to create different types of EC2s, whether Windows, whether Linux, or how to create other services provided by AWS. And we will see how a load test, you must have heard about this word latency, right? It is very important to test your application from the same zone or from the same region where your application servers are located, right? That is why if you are working on live projects, you are working on remote machines, right? Remote desktops. So what do? You log in into your remote desktops, which are there in the same locations so that there will be minimal latency. So I'll show you in live how latency will impact your performance testing result by using cloud and how different tools available from cloud will help you determine the performance and also analyze the application performances. We'll also talk about .NET performance, okay, and Azure Insights. If you have not worked on AWS and Azure, this will be very interesting session. ML pipeline optimization. If you are new to this, everybody is new in AI and ML. So I'll help you to build prompts, okay. Those prompts, if you have a template, right, ready with you of those prompts, it will automatically generate JMX as per your requirements. What you need your application details, for example, what URL you want to hit, what all the request parameters, and it is very easy for APIs. For UI also it is easy. Only prerequisite is you need to know the API sequence, okay? And I'll help you to create those prompts with very standard templates wherein just you need to provide your inputs and your JMX is ready with all the comments, everything with your think times, with your assertions. Okay. So that is where GenAI comes into picture. So that will be, it is going to be very informative, very interesting, right? And is anybody is using any tool, I mean, Chat GPT or Gemini to create your JMX? Anybody is using as of now?
No.
Okay, no worries. So I'll how we can use it. You some already built-in templates. Okay, and like I mentioned, it is readily available for APIs. For UI, as I mentioned, you need some API sequences. But if you have your application details readily available, script creation time can be reduced from 1 to 2 days from 10 to 15 minutes. Okay. So you must be thinking, oh, what will be my job right after that? So don't worry about that. Like, people with knowledge of AI will be preferred anywhere, right? So don't worry about it. So I'll help you to get all these skills installed in you. Okay. And similarly, I mean, whatever results data you have, whether your JTL file, whether any monitoring tool logs you have, how you can use AI to quickly monitor those logs, to quickly monitor those result files, and give you some problematic areas which you can readily show, take a snapshots of it and readily show it to your development team. So all those things I'll be covering in this session. Okay. Any questions so far? Anybody want to know something? Any doubts? Any concerns? Yes, no?
Uh, you said like we'll pinpoint some bottlenecks, right? So will
Hmm?
we will you explain like resolution also for those
Yes, yes.
suggestions?
Since
Okay.
yes, yeah. Since I am myself will be injecting the problem, so I will be knowing the resolutions.
Okay.
But it is all about building that kind of mindset, right? So I'll help you in that. I'll help you in that as well. Because see, problems in different applications will be different, but how to approach them, that I mean the fundamental will always remain the same, right?
Yeah.
Foundation will always remain the same. So I'll help you how to analyze, how to quickly get into the bottlenecks, because that is what this session is for. So yes, I'll definitely help you out. Any other question, any other concern from anyone?
Hey,
Uh,
just on that, sorry, I joined a bit late, but not sure if you have
No
covered this, but
worries.
I just wanted to ask on the same bottleneck or RCA thing. So, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
you will be covering probably a Dynatrace or AppDynamics, the APM side of things. But let's say
Mm-hmm.
there is a use case where the client doesn't have any APM tools to leverage,
Mm-hmm.
and we purely need to fall back to the servers logs and stuff. So would
Mm-hmm.
you also cover
Mm-hmm.
that sort of use case as well as part of this course, or how is that framed?
Yes. Now I'll again reiterate the same point. It's all about building the mindset. But yes, I got your point. If you do not have any APM available with you and you are
Hmm.
relying just on the logs of your application server, then how can you identify what is the problem? Correct?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So yes, I'll be covering that. Now that thing, like I mentioned, first thing what we need is the mindset. Okay, where is the problem? Either the problem is with some particular transaction, either the problem is at specified time interval. Okay, so yes, I will be covering that. I'll help you to build that kind of mindset, that kind of approach. Whatever the problem is, the path will remain the same, right?
Yes.
And because of availability of AI tools, how those logs can be analyzed very quickly, I'll help you in that as well. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, no worries. And most of the time, clients do not use APM tools because of cost. That is the eventual reason, right? Why somebody will not use any APM, because of the cost, because of the money involved, right? There are many open source tools as well. We will be covering that also, which will help you out to figure out the issues. Okay. Even if you have the raw logs with you, there are still many tools available, open source tools, which can easily you can import your logs there and they can tell you what it shows. Okay.
Okay. And
Any other concern? Yeah.
was that covered in the curriculum? Like, was that mentioned in the curriculum? The tools that you're referring to?
Yes. See, this thing, right? Gen and performance engineering. I
Yep.
will covering all things here. Okay. I'll
Okay.
I'll I'll tell you how you can make use of AI prompts to analyze your logs if you do not have any APM available with you.
Okay. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Sir, hello, sir.
Yes, yes,
Hello,
please go ahead.
sir.
Yes, I can hear you.
This course is usable for Java applications, or we can perform the engineering for .NET applications as well.
Both. I mean, any application, like I mentioned earlier, you keep on listening this thing again and again. Sorry for that. It's all about building the mindset. So don't worry whether your application is Java, whether it is .NET, Angular, Node, whatever it is.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
That's what I was saying. Every application, every technology is different, every issue is different, but the mindset will always remain the same, right? The person will
Yes.
remain the same who is working on different application, right? So you need to uh, I'll help you how to think, how to build those skills so that you can go to your problem. Okay, so I'll help in that. Okay, I
Okay, sir.
hope
Okay,
I'm
sir.
making
Thank you.
sense.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, sir.
Okay,
Can you tell us which applications are we going to use for the training purpose?
yeah, so like I mentioned, initially we'll start with very simple application. I'll show you a quick demo today itself in another 15-20 minutes. Okay, uh, that is a very simple application, and then I'll use some other application. And if you have application in your mind, okay, you can tell me that as well, we can include that also. So today I'll be using a very simple Java application, okay, with 3 different API endpoints. Then we can use JPEG store or anything. If you would like to use, then that also can be included in this. So don't worry.
Okay.
Okay, so let us quickly start with the module 1. So what is performance engineering and why it matters? Anybody, quickly, let's go around. Why performance engineering matters? Any 2-3 quick points? Come on, guys, come on, let's let's make it interactive. Please give your inputs. Why performance engineering matters?
Well, to help,
Anything that comes to your
yeah,
mind, please go ahead.
to help the application and its systems to perform more resilient, efficient.
Mhm. Yeah, yeah.
To better
Anybody else?
quality of the product.
Correct.
So production readiness
Yes.
and optimize the
Production.
application. So,
Yeah,
To reduce the burden
yeah,
of the resources.
yep.
Handle scalability.
So, yeah. So can you tell me any difference between scalability and resilience? What is the difference between scalability? You must have heard these words: scalability, stability, availability, resilience. Can anyone tell me in brief what is the difference between these terms? Just 2-3 points. Only 1 minute will also be fine. What is the difference between
Resilience is
scalability?
how your system recovers from errors and failures
Mhm, mhm,
without much of noise, like minimal disruption on your system. Scalability is
mhm,
like handling your workload,
mhm,
handling the growth in the users while
mhm.
uh, maintaining your system performance.
Correct. So scalability, yes, like you mentioned, if there is a future growth of let's say 4x or 6x, right? I mean 6 times or 4 times, whether your current infrastructure can handle that much load or not, and if not, whether it can scale up or not, right? Like we were discussing in about cloud, right? In cloud, what happens? Scale up and scale down, right? Whenever there is more load, more CPUs will get added up automatically. Correct. For example, during big billion day sales on Flipkart or any e-commerce websites, what happens? Huge traffic comes in a very short period of time, right? So how they manage that kind of traffic? Although there are certain instances where there is a downtime for those applications and they lose business as well, but still they are able to manage that. How? Because they have done their scalability testing, right? So that is why it is important. So the goal is to make you all well versed with the importance of performance engineering. So whenever let's say any cloud service provider or any application says we are 99.9% available, we guarantee you, let's say AWS guarantee to SDFC Bank, you deploy your application on my cloud service. I want to be your cloud service provider. Deploy your application on our cloud servers, and we will ensure you it will be 99.9% available. So do you say it is good or bad? 99.9% availability. You got my question? So my question is, let me repeat. Suppose you build some app, okay? Suppose you are an owner of some bank and some cloud service provider came to you, let's say Microsoft Azure or AWS, and they say, okay, build your infrastructure, everything on our cloud servers. We will guarantee you your application will remain available for 99.9% of the time. So what do you say? Is that a good deal or a bad deal?
Well, everyone expects 100% availability.
Depends
Yeah.
upon the kind of application services that is
Mhm.
used. Like 99.9% on a e-commerce platform during a peak hour or something like a Black Friday could
Mhm.
lose millions of dollars, right? And if it
Yeah.
is a patient related, clinical related applications, and your
Mhm.
uptime should be even better, not like 99.9 also. So I would say it depends upon what kind of application that you use. So like financial,
Mhm.
banking, e-commerce, like any critical services, uh, anything beyond 99.9 is also good.
Correct. So let's do a quick maths, okay? So there are 365 days and there are 24 hours. Okay, so there are total 8760 hours in a year. So if a company says that we will be 99.9% available, 8760, right? So that means still there can be a downtime of 9 hours, right? So you're getting me, right?
In a year, yes.
8.6. Yeah. So still there can be a downtime of 8.76 hours, which cloud service is not giving guaranteed for, right? That means like yes, you very correctly point that out. If there, now let's reduce it to monetary losses. 1 hour loss can be equal to 10,000, 1 million. We never know depending upon application, right? Now, let's say if $1 million of loss per hour, that will be around $8 million of loss. And that is for 99.9% of availability. So that is how, the point is, yes, everyone want 100% availability, but giving guarantee of 100, we can't do that. That is not 100%, right? Now, the point I want to make is, it is very crucial to understand what kind of application you are testing, and it is very crucial to understand what these terms actually means. It sounds good 99.9%, but if we calculate it, right, then we will come to know how much losses an application or a company can incur if there will be any kind of downtime will be there, right? So I'll help you build that skills which helps you in your career, your interviews, in your projects. Okay, so I'll help you to build that kind of mindset. That is what is important, because like I mentioned, issues in different projects, different applications and technologies are different. But if your fundamentals are strong, no matter what technology you are working upon, it is very easy to identify and resolve issues. I can assure you that all to build that kind of mindset. Okay. So not only of tester, but as an engineer, what value addition we can provide, right? Now there is a difference between engineering and testing. Like I mentioned, suppose you have now Jmeter or LoadRunner results with you. You shared your data with your managers, your management, your stakeholder, client. Now they will say, okay, what to do with this, right? That's what their question is. Okay, you mentioned, okay, my search query is taking time. Now they, okay, what to do? Where is the problem? Right? That's where performance engineering comes into picture. Okay, you will, if there are APM tools, you go there, you will check which query is taking time, what was the time frame, when did you test, right? All those things are important. So testing says that it failed or passed, whether it is under SLA or whether it is under NFR. But what to do with that data? Suppose you have reports which says these many transactions are having this much response times or breaking the SLA, right? So performance engineering skills can help you to improve your response times, not only by, just going through your testful results, but also going inside the code, also going inside the SQL queries. So that will help developers, because see, more information provide to the developer, it will be easy for them also to quickly, analyze and to quickly solve the problem. Correct? Any questions? Anybody want to add? Please go ahead.
Hi, just a couple of things.
Hello.
First
Yeah.
one is since you're talking, we talked about the high availability of being 99.9% or perhaps 100% for few of the applications based on their uh, nature of holding out to the end users. I'm still trying to find, will there be any applications that may still be okay with that 99 or 99.9%, and nothing is striking in my head. So I just wanted to check with you to know, do you know any such applications, or have you worked or heard about any such applications that are still okay operating at 99.9% availability? That's one question. And then the second one is just like we picked the example of, the data, there's a bottleneck in the database or some queries are running slow. Yes, of course, using an APM tool makes life a bit easy to pick the queries that are running slow, probably during a test or some peak hours or peak periods. But as a performance engineer, in general, because I understand this does vary from client to client in terms of expectations and our involvement during that investigation and tuning process. But in general, till what extent the expectations does go in, like, will that be only till identifying the queries and giving to the respective teams to carry on the further investigation or do all the tuning or optimization part, or will we be responsible, I don't know to what extent, but will we be responsible to tune the queries, and probably, if there are some indexes that needs to be done, you do a re-indexing and all that stuff. So can you give us a idea on what could be the expectations as a performance engineer?
Okay. So what I understand, you have two questions. The first thing is any example of websites uh, which can, what we would say, which are okay with 99.9%, which if there is not 100% availability, still they are okay, right? That's what your first question is,
Yep.
right? So now, yeah. So suppose now let's say there is no answer coming into your mind. Now here comes about mindset. Okay, let us try to figure out what all applications need 100% availability and why. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I see. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to confuse it more. But I just want to say, let us try to figure out the reasons why websites or why applications want 100% availability. The first is financial things, right? It can never be downtime. There should never be any downtime because it's directly money is involved, right?
Right.
C- Correct. So more critical things means more availability. Now, less critical things means, let's say there is some newspaper website, right?
Okay.
Now, news website can be down for 1 minute or 1.5 minute, 2 minute. That is fine, right? I mean, I will not say that will always be fine, but I'm just giving you an example, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
Yeah. I understand. I understand.
that is not, yeah, so that is not that critical. So we need to understand in that way, okay, why companies are going for 100% availability. What are the reasons? So, and what are those companies who, for them, these reasons are not applicable? Okay. Those all
Mhm.
businesses which are not in very critical kind of uh, stuff. Now, healthcare, right? Healthcare is very critical. Now, if there any instrument, okay, and if its performance is down, then it's directly a matter of somebody's life and death, right?
Yep.
That is very critical. Finances are very critical. Similarly, if something related to government websites, okay, which are providing data, right, to the government, those are very critical, right? Something which are entertaining kind of thing, okay, no doubt you people can't bear the downtime of Instagram or Netflix. They will lose millions of dollars. Oh, when I say entertainment, I mean just for leisure purpose, like news or any articles or any blogs, right? So there can be 1 minute or 2 minutes of downtime in a day. That will be fine, right? So those kind of applications. So it's all now what I did, I just tried to analyze, okay, what all things make an application critical. Now try to analyze what all these critical points are not applicable to different kind of businesses. Then you will get some examples. Making sense?
Yep.
Okay. Now your second question is what are our expectations and what are our roles, right? Now, yeah, this varies. Okay, this varies upon your experience. This varies upon how much involved you are in the project for how much time. But nowadays, people are, you know, expecting everything from everyone. That is how this industry has started working now, right? So when you say, okay, this particular SQL is taking time, then yeah, they'll come back to you, okay, how to improve it, how to tune it, how to optimize it. Okay. For a performance engineer, I would say, and what my experience is, what I have learned from my seniors, it is not easy thing and it is not I mean, for us, I would not say it is our job to give everything. Okay, so if see, because you are mostly involved in analysis, you are mostly involved in testing, so still we are thinking like a developer, we are thinking like a tester, that is fine, but you are not building that application, right? So you may miss some points of the code, some points how that application code is written, right? Because there are so many things, right, inside the application that you are not aware. So if you ask me, my personal advice is give as much as you can. Now where that where that limit is, it depends upon person to person, right? So there is no hard and fast answer for it, but the, whatever you give, okay, give as much as you can. Now there are tools. Suppose you said, okay, this particular table, this has an issue, this particular query has an issue. From SQL, you can directly figure out, okay, is there any index missing or not, right? Is there any stored procedure that is causing problem, right? So that thing you can do it quickly, right? But you cannot write SQL from scratch and tune it, correct? Making sense?
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So the point is, give as much information as you can. If there are any recommendations, because see, PM tools are very intelligent. Okay, again, you can use AI whenever you open today, New Relic, whether it is AppDynamics, Dynatrace, even Azure Insights. Okay, you can use their co-pilots. You can check in the co-pilots, right? What is the problem in this and what all recommendations given by those APM tools. You can make use of it. Okay, so don't, see, expectation will be always be there, but I think can't do 100% of the thing 100% of the time, right? Okay,
Yep.
anything else
Yep.
from any? Okay, so let us talk about some this thing we have already covered. So this is how performance engineering lifecycle looks like, right? You get some requirements from client. Let's say you are working on some new e-commerce application, which are more into mobile kind of sales. Okay, so how much response times are expectable, correct? And see, for e-commerce, what our transactions are critical. Search query is very critical. Login is critical, right? Now, transitioning from one page to another may be, it may take less time, but whenever you search for any product, that is very critical transactions, because there is n number of rows inside the database, and it will take hell amount of time. So that you need to understand, right? How, what are critical things and where the database is involved more, right? Then you do workload modeling. I'll give you a recent example what I have faced for workload modeling. So we need to test one button on an application. Okay, let's say there is an application and I want to test this. Uh, any application. Give me example if anybody wants to. Okay, let's say you want to Gmail. Okay. Now in Gmail, let's say you open this compose button. Okay. So when you want to compose this email, now you want to see how much time it takes to open this pop-up, right? So how will you do it? How will you do workload modeling? Anyone? You want to figure out, okay, how much time you want to figure out how many transactions and you need to execute for this particular pop-up. Can anyone explain me? So basically you want to figure out how many hits per second on particular compose button in 1 hour. Okay. So client want to test this particular button, click on compose. Okay. And you don't know how many transactions you want to achieve in 1 hour, in 1 minute, and you want to do workload modeling. Can anyone tell me what approach you will follow? Anything. Don't worry whether it is right or wrong. Anything. Please be fast.
Well, guys, we can have some insights from the production to see how many
Mm-hmm.
emails have been sent out, and that way, we can
Okay. Anyone
correlate
else?
correlate that to
Yeah.
a compose mail.
Okay. So email sent will be email sent button, right? Okay. So yeah,
Now,
I got your point. So if somebody
unless
is
you,
composing,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, that is one point. Yeah. So unless you compose, you won't send. Yeah, that is right.
you won't send
But
it.
there
Yeah.
will be some replies as well, right? Yeah, yeah,
Yes. Yes.
I
Of course.
got. See, there is. Yeah, there will be. It's not a wrong answer. I'm just telling you. So one thing you can, so if you have production logs, there is no substitute for that. Okay, production logs are very, very helpful. So what you can do now, you can see here, right? So you can see this particular compose equal to new, right? In production logs, okay, I'll show you in upcoming sessions, show you some live examples from New Relic. Okay, in production logs, there are different entities, okay, and there are different request URIs, okay, and in this case, you can filter for particular thing, okay, and you can write your query to figure out how many hits in last 1 month, 2 month, 3 months, whatever data you can, right, you have. So this thing, suppose now you have data with this particular URI with you, with this particular parameter with you, compose equal to new. Okay, let's say now you have stats with you. Okay, on 1st of December, there were 100 hits, 2nd of December, 50 hits, still the for whole month data. Now what you will do for one particular day, when there is maximum number of hits, you will query for that particular day. Okay, and for that particular day, you will now use your filter as you want to have your data in one every hour. So from 1 to 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., 3 to 4 p.m. like that. Now in that way, you will get the peak hour load. Okay. So the filter will remain the same. I mean, this filter query will have this. This is important here. And this is just an example, right? Simple example. So whenever you click on this button, this particular request URI will go to the server. You can find out this production logs. I'll show you, don't worry. I'm just explaining you here, but I'll show you from the live logs. Don't worry. Okay. How those data will help you. Okay. Then from 1 month of data, you can reduce it to per day, and from per day for per hour. Right? Got it? Making sense? So that's how you can do workload modeling. Okay, then you will do performance testing, then monitoring, bottleneck analysis, capacity planning, and this cycle keep on, right? Okay, so testing to engineering is like detection to prevention. Okay, now you have detected. Now again, the same thing that somebody was asking, what is our role? At what extent? Till what extent we need to give the information? Right. So here again, I mean, whatever you can provide, please provide, and you can't do 100% of the things, so don't worry about it. And the best part is, I mean, from SDLC perspective, project team or the development team will come to know their issues as at early stages, and it will help them to, resolve them. And you must have heard this term frequently many times. Okay, we need functionally stable code to do performance testing, right? So what I would say from consultant perspective, from sales perspective, don't worry about the functionality. I mean, everything is not going to be stable at every time, and people still want you to do the performance testing. So instead of saying this thing, right, functionally stable or functionally complete, start saying functionally correctness. Okay, so it is fine if it is not functionally complete, that is fine, but it should be functionally correct. I hope you are getting me, right? Now let's say a project has to develop 10 different modules, and they have developed only 8 modules, and you want to test 4 out of 8. You won't say, okay, no, please work on every 10 modules, then I'll start do performance testing. You can still do performance testing of 4 modules, provided those should be functionally correct. Okay, so the functionally complete should be replaced with functionally correct. Okay, so that is how you can do early analysis. That is how you can do early monitoring and value add in your reports. So I'll quickly show you one demo. I think we have only 8-9 minutes left with us. I'll quickly show one demo to you. So currently, I'll be using a simple Java application. Okay. I have built that using Maven package. Okay. Anybody aware of this command? Yes, no, maybe. Hello. Okay, so this is basically a Maven command. Okay, so to deploy the applications, right, Maven will automatically extract all the dependencies. Okay, it needs one pom.xml. Don't worry, I'll show you everything step by step, but I'll quickly show you the demo. So what I'm doing is I am sending some parameters in runtime. Okay, so this is what my heap space is. I'm just giving 32 MB of space. You can increase or decrease it as per your application. So I'll quickly start this application. So it has 3 endpoints available with it. Okay, it's built on Spring framework. It has 3 endpoints. Okay, so my Jmeter script is ready to put a load on it. Okay. Now, these 3 endpoints, quick, slow, and CPU, these 3 endpoints, like their name suggests, they are one API is quick, another is slow, and another is CPU. Since I have built this application, so I know why these are quick, slow, and CPU. So I have given names in such a way, but I'll show you quickly. So this one is quick. Okay. Are you ready for fun times ahead? Gear up for performance engineering. And this is CPU endpoint. Okay, so this is a sample application. Now what I'll do, I'll start putting load on this. Let's quickly check this. What I'm doing is I'm just running test for 150 seconds and running for 60 threads, ramping up in 20 seconds. Okay, I'll quickly configure JVisual VM here. So this is my running. This is my running demo load application, process ID 29904. And I'll also configure the console. This one, fine. Okay. Now my application is configured in two open source APM tools. These are also APM tools. Okay, it will give you a quick view of the application. Now let's run some performance test, quick performance test. Okay, so users are ramping up now. Yeah, I'll also show you how to give all these users ramp up duration in the runtime. Okay, runtime means from GUI mode, we will build some prompts. It will ask you how much user you want to test with, how much ramp up, how much duration. So it will ask you on the non-GUI mode. I'll show you in upcoming sessions how you can do that. Okay, so let's go here. So this is the heap size, right? That I have configured for my application, 32, right? And let's go here. Here you can see CPU is getting up. So this is my maximum heap that I have allocated to my application. You can see 30 MB. 30 MB is what that I have given in my runtime parameters while I build this application, 32 MB, right? So this is the heap. Okay. Now see, as the users are increasing, as there is more load, there are CPU spikes in the application, right? And okay, one thing, do you know why this, why there are downfall with every upward spike in heap memory usage? Anyone? Anyone?
GC is like clearing the memory unused.
Yeah, correct. So that is minor GC, which is clearing the memory, and it is a healthy. So if you see, my CPU is somewhere around 20%, 15 to 20% here. Now, if I increase my user, obviously there will be more load, there will be more consumption. But I'll show you one thing. Let it complete. Okay, it's completed now. Now what I'll do is I'll comment this particular API. Okay, CPU API, which is consuming more CPU. Then I'll run my test. Okay, so here the test over. No, yeah. So quickly, I mean, see here you can see there is one spike in CPU, right? So now you want to see why this spike happened. Okay, so what you can do? Anyone? What we can do?
Sit down.
Anyone? Anyone?
We had to correlate with the GC graph. Like, is there any GC activity happen by the time?
Okay, so here is the GC graph. You can see it is 956. So this is also, it's near to 957. Yeah, so GC was running up and here some GC, but this is 956.49. Yeah, there is 6 or 7 second gap. Yeah, that could be one thing. Yes. Okay, so you can see all the threads, different states. Okay, now in this test, have you seen any difference here? This is the earlier test. This is the current test. Have you seen any difference?
CPU is less compared to earlier.
See, yeah. And why it is less?
Not sure.
Anyone? The
Due
users
to
are
cache.
same.
Because you have commented.
Yeah, because I have commented one API, which is CPU intensive API. Now, this application is something that I myself build, right? So I know which particular API is more CPU intensive, which particular API is more data intensive, which is more response intensive, time intensive, right? So I am aware of that, right? So in actual case, we will do reverse engineering. I mean, you are not aware what kind of things may cause the problem, but like I mentioned, it's all about the mindset. Okay. So now let us, I'll quickly show you this function, what exactly it is doing. Can you see my screen now? CPU, right? So I have written some math function here. Okay. Now this math function is consuming some CPU because there are certain operations, I mean, certain processing going on behind it, right? So that is why this is CPU intensive. Correct? Getting my point? Other functions are simple. Quick in slow function, what I have done, if you go to Jmeter response times aggregate report, you can see in slow API, it is taking more time. Now, why more time? Because I myself has explicitly injected that to show for the demo purpose, right? Now, similarly, we need to, identify the root cause of applications. like I mentioned, like I have given you an example of search query. Search query is very CPU intensive because it is going to search the records in n number of rows, and there will be more CPU cycles, right? So more CPU cycles mean more resource consumption, right? So we need to understand what kind of transaction can cause more CPU utilization. We need to understand which kind of transactions can cause delays. It could be there are certain transactions which are very quick but high intensive for CPU, but there are transactions which are slow and very resource CPU intensive as well. Okay. So in this case, since I have commented out my resource utilization transaction, that is why CPU was less, right? So I hope this was helpful, and this is how we need to that is what I was talking about from the starting, to build that kind of mindset. Okay, what kind of transactions are doing, what kind of functionalities behind it. We need to understand it, and how we will understand it by using these graphs, by using these statistics. I hope that was helpful.
Um, yes.
Any
So,
questions?
Vicky, I have a question.
Yep, please.
So I was wondering, like, is there a way for us to identify the SQL queries that are triggered in the backend when the user clicks on a particular
Yes,
button or a link?
yes,
I posted the
yes.
question on the chat. So
Okay. So
because say
yes,
if it's
there
an
are
ERP,
ways
it's an
again.
ERP application,
Mhm.
all the time there's some or the other SQLs that are being fired. All I want to know is when I click a button, what are the exact
Uh,
queries related to that particular button that are fired to the database? If I want to find this
you have
information, how can I do this?
okay. So you have some APM tool with you.
No, we don't use any commercial APM tools.
Any okay. So how your project team is analyzing your application server logs?
That's what I was wondering. I was not able to find a way to isolate the SQL
Okay.
specific to a particular request without using any commercial tools.
No worries.
In,
So there are many ways. I'll tell you a very simple way. See, inside a sampler, right? So this is HTTP request. You can add header managers, right? Inside a config element, you can add header manager, and just check from your team, from your developers, what all header managers are acceptable. For example, in most of the applications, there is one header manager called correlation ID. It could be X correlation ID, or it can be normal correlation ID, or it can be some trace ID, trace state ID, right? So you can give some other hard code value or any value which is human readable, so that you can find out it later. Suppose you can uh, this is related to slow transaction. You can give it like this. Okay. Now, whenever you hit this API, okay, this header manager value will go with this. Okay. And in your logs, you will see this particular value. Okay. First, you need to figure out what all header manager values are acceptable. Then you can customize those any one, whether it can be session ID, correlation ID, trace ID. I mean, I'm giving you an example from my experience. You need to check, but definitely there will be something called core X correlation ID. Okay. So once you have this X correlation ID, you can figure out in your logs. Okay. When you hit this particular API, okay, this in your logs. Okay. Now then you
which
can
logs
figure
are
out
you which logs are you referring to, Vicky?
application
Is it
application
application?
logs, application logs. Yeah. Now these are my application logs. Since I have started my application, right? These are my application logs. Here you can see uh, as soon as I build this, right? You can see it is started in 2 millisecond. Now, if I configured this, right? All those things are available inside application logs. So
I
in
mean,
my case, these are
in our project, the architecture is client, it's the web server, it's the HTTP server, and from HTTP server, the request goes to the application server, from application server to
Mhm.
database server. So if you're including this header
Right.
in the performance testing tool, how would
Mhm.
that reflect in the application server logs? Because the first thing which is it is sitting as the web server, correct?
That that's how it works. That's how it works. Yes, there will be. See, web server is nothing but where you are hitting, right? So your HTTP server, correct? So
Mhm.
yeah, correct. Now these value will pass through from your web server to application server. That's how it works. And like I was saying, if not this X correlation, let's say sometime it may happen, this X correlation ID will only go till your web server. For example, from your web server, there will be some trace ID or there will be some other, similar kind of name or something that you can capture, and same ID will be available in application and database. There will be some connection, definitely. Okay. First thing is, what my experience is, you will definitely get some kind of this in your application server and finally in your database. Now, let's say you are saying you are sending first to web, then to application. That's how three-tier architecture works. In that case, you can figure out this particular value inside your web server logs. From there, just check which trace ID is associated with this correlation ID. And that trace ID, then you can check inside application database server.
Okay.
If you want, I can show you some real time examples in upcoming sessions from my real life projects. Okay, how these values work. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
Anything else from anyone?
Um, so Vicky, as part of this course, are we covering only like both on-premise and cloud, or only performance engineering? Are we covering cloud performance engineering too?
Yes, we will cover cloud performance engineering as well. We will be working on AWS and Azure both, but I'll show you both, but I'll create instances on AWS. I'll install Jmeter on AWS instance. I'll show you how to do that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And we'll also learn about Azure metrics, Azure insights. Anything from, and see, like I was saying earlier, my idea is not to, just give lecture and all. So if you have something to share, please go ahead and we can use that application also for some demonstration. Not an issue.
Vicky, I have one more question.
Yes,
Are
please
we
go ahead.
covering any of the tools for log analysis? Because log analysis is the most time-consuming activity, right? So I was wondering, is there any tools or ways are we covering that as part of the
Yes,
course?
yes, we will be covering. Yes, we will be covering.
Is it a specific tool that
And
you're gonna
Dynatrace.
for
And
logs,
if you
server
want
logs?
for server logs, Dynatrace can also be used. And if you want any other tool, please let me know. See,
Like ELK,
every APM
ELK, I
tool,
heard of that.
Elastic Logs Test Cabana.
Yeah, that's like I heard that or New Relic. I haven't used these tools, but
Yeah,
I got to know that.
yeah, I can show you. Yeah, no worries. I can show you New Relic. Don't worry. I'll see APM tools, Splunk. Yeah, somebody said Splunk also. Fine, no issues. I'll show you how to create Splunk queries. I can show you how to create New Relic queries. It's all about see, again the same fundamental or the foundation should be strong. Okay, no matter what the tool is, if you know how to write a query. In fact, today chat gpt is there. You can quickly just write your prompt. You want this query, you want this data from this tool. It will, within 1 second it will give you, right? So you need to build that mindset first. Okay, how to approach that problem. Okay, yes, I will cover that, don't worry. Okay, I'm more uh, I have more exposure to New Relic, so it will be easy for me to show you that. But if you want anything else, we will definitely can do that. No worries.
Okay.
And do not get overwhelmed or do not get panicked by use so much data inside any tools, right? Most of the time, for our benefit, there are limited values that are important to us. In logs, there are hundreds of lines, thousands of lines. We don't have to worry about all those lines, right? For us, only few things are important, and we will learn that. Don't worry.
I mean, I asked that question only because now in my project, I monitor like 20 server logs. That's just the application server. Besides that, the web server and the database and so many. So
Okay. And how you are currently doing it?
just the commands, the ps grep, ps grep, and server just go into the server log and
Okay.
look for errors and
Okay.
exceptions. And you have the regular
Okay.
servers, and you also have the HA servers, right? The failover servers. It's a lot of work.
Okay. Okay. In that case, you can quickly create SAR reports, SAR reports. Did you try it?
No, I haven't done it.
Okay. Okay. I'll show you. I'll help you out. So if you suppose if you do not have anything, right? Any APM, any agents or anything, you can use SAR.
Does SAR take care of the log monitoring? I mean, what about all exceptions and
You
errors occurred in the logs?
yes, yes.
Okay.
See,
All I want is like in the server log, I run a command and it should filter
mhm,
out all and give
mhm,
me the unique exceptions and errors that occurred during the text execution window. All that's all I want.
mhm.
So I was wondering if
Yes,
there is
yes,
a way for us to write a script that could take care of it or use a tool. In
yes.
my
We'll
project,
figure.
third party is something which they don't go for, so because of security reasons.
Okay. No worries. We'll figure that out. Don't worry. Anybody else want to add something? Want to share something? Please.
Hi, Rahul. May I know the
Hi.
course duration and do we have the sessions on weekends? And, if it is there, then what is the timings?
Timing will be
Please,
same 9 to 10.
on weekends
Okay.
also, Saturday and Sunday.
No, no, no on weekends. You want on weekends?
No, I
Hello.
want to understand what exactly this course will goes.
Yeah, it will be daily session from 9 to 10. Okay. And currently, the plan is to have on weekdays. Okay. But
Okay.
if you most of them are,
40 days,
sorry,
months or 3 months. Duration of the course duration.
course duration. Okay. So there will be around 15 to 20 sessions, depending upon how much we want to cover, how quickly we will cover. So 3 weeks, you can say
Okay,
3 weeks. Yeah.
okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we all are done.
One question.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. So how about this thing, Loki and Tempo? So these are free tools, right? Which we can use as an APM and log analysis. So will that be covered?
Yes.
So
No.
will that be covered? Oh.
See, there are n number of tools, right? So, like I mentioned, it is impossible to cover everything, but yes, I'll be covering open source tools. Okay, and if you have some choice with you, I can consider that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but again, I will reiterate what I have started with. It's all about building the mindset, okay? So don't worry, you know AppDynamics, you have not worked on Dynatrace, you will not be able to do it. You worked on Splunk, but you don't know New Relic. Don't worry about it. Okay. If you have worked on one tool, if you have worked on one tool, you figure out the way to work on other tools.
Right, right. No, so
right?
my question was more about like one full stack of open source and one stack of commercial tool. If you can cover that, that will be like awesome because you will be
Yes,
covering. Yeah.
I can do that. I can do that. Yeah. So from second or I mean from third or fourth session, you people can give me a list of things that you want to cover, right? So I can do that. No worries. Because see, from teacher perspective, I have list of things of my own, right? So, but that should be beneficial to you. Otherwise, giving a lecture for 1 hour doesn't make sense, right? So whatever I am saying, whatever I'm teaching to you, it should add some value in your career, right? You should not feel, okay, this is of not field, right? It should not be like that. So whatever I want to cover, that will you suggest me, I can consider that because I have already some list with me that should add some value to your career, right? So that is my whole objective. It should nothing like, okay, you have already paid the money or you are going to pay the money, so I'll do whatever I want to do. No, nothing like that. It should be I mean proper satisfaction from your end also. You should go out and say, yes, we get something out of it. If we have spent some money, it is worth it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So, and one last question. So, will there be any interview preparation or questions like that related to interview will be shared?
Yes, definitely. Not questions, but some scenarios. Yes,
Okay.
some scenarios will be there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Hi, Rahul.
Okay, somebody pinged on
Yeah.
chat.
Hello. Hi, Rahul.
Yes. Yeah.
This is Shiva.
Hello. Yeah, Shiva.
I have a question. I'm currently working in non-IT with 3 years of experience.
Okay.
I want to move into IT with performance testing. So I would
Okay.
like to know whether this course will be useful for me as I'm a fresher for performance testing. And
It will.
few colleagues suggested me that gaining real-time and hands-on experience will be helpful to get into this industry. So
That is very true. See, there is no substitute of real-time experience. Okay. You can't judge or you can't learn swimming just sitting outside a swimming pool, right? You have to go inside it. So there is no substitute of it. This course will definitely give you, but I will say you need to put some efforts more from your end. Because see, I'm not teaching how to create performance script. But if you want, I can separately help you out with some sample scripts. But because what I understand from other people, they are already from testing background. They know how to create script. They know how to run test. And if you want to learn that, you need to put some more efforts from your end, right? So this course will definitely help you, but it will require some efforts, more efforts, uh, uh, I mean, as compared to others from your end. So that is the only difference. Because I'll be covering performance concepts, I'll be covering engineering concepts, will certainly going to help you. But after my 1 hour of class, after my this session, how much efforts you put, how much you learn, how much you do your homework, right? So I
Yes.
can give you some homework every day. I can assign you some task every day. If you do that, it will certainly help you. It will definitely help you. I can guarantee you. But if you do not do your homework, then it will be of no use.
Yeah. I'm trying to transition into performance testing, so I will do the work right.
Yeah. Yes. Then it will definitely help. I mean, it requires some efforts from your end. So be ready for it then. Yep. Anything else
Thank you.
from anyone? No worries, Shiva. Okay, I think we can close. So you all are from India or somebody is from outside? Anyone? Okay, I think. Okay, fine. Good night. Have a great night and let's connect tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you, Rahul. Thanks for the session. Bye.
Yeah.